How are you tonight? It's January, it's the last day of January, Friday night, and this is the Existential Half Hour. Come in, Rudy, and play for the boys. Can't do it now, Steve. This is an intellectual show. You didn't see any of that. If you did, you're delusional, or maybe hallucinating. But you know visual hallucinations? Pretty rare and almost always indicative of an underlying organic. What do they mean by organic? That your brain's fucked up, as opposed to your mind. But how do we separate the two? One of the dilemmas of our time. We can't separate the two. Okay? When you lose the brain, you lose your mind. Or a nicer way of looking at it is your mind joins the other minds. And never you mind. You're just going to be out there in the fishbowl of life. Which, let me tell you, if you release the attachment to your body, the out there in the fishbowl of life is not such a bad thing. Because your identity is not your body, it's not who I am. I mean, it has determined a lot of my existence in my brief time on this planet. But it sounds like I'm just ranting, but I'm not. Okay, so yes, my body did determine circumstances of my birth and all that stuff. But yes, nevertheless, the body is the vehicle to the mind. And of course, we only know a limited amount of the mind, but the mind, I believe, is universal, and I'm not the first person to say that. So I have no fear of death, I guess you might say, because I view it as a positive passing. When this body becomes too painful, I'm out of here, Mo. V5O foam. I'm going to drink a little rum. Even though it looks like wine, makes me feel very fine. This is the Existential Half Hour. And I'm really happy. I'm happy because I took everything off of YouTube. I experimented with YouTube, and I thought it was a fantastic platform, venue, but I want to do this stuff later on, after I retire my license. I want to be licensed to do this. License is what? Steve, we hear you. You've been licensed as the class clown. What? Me? But I shall rise above that. Oh, Steve, you cannot rise above your destiny. You are the class clown. They drew you as Donald Duck years ago on St. Mark's Place, when I was going to say the Fitzmore Village was there, but it was called the Fillmore East, not the Fitzmore Village. I remember the Fitzmore Village. That's where they fits more than you could think about. They were there, they were everywhere, and they were all Irish, running around, going to St. Mary's, going to the academy, denying their fruit to all that asked. And so we went to the Jewish girls, but I'm just giving you a brief history of Queens now. Going back a long time ago, that is 1950s, late 1950s. Yeah, that's when the beatniks were still there, and oh man, that was way before now. Yet we are all the same, you know? Somebody comes back from 40,000 years ago, they're going to adapt pretty quickly. If they're smart, they're going to figure it out. If they're not smart, they're not going to figure it out, but we don't talk about that, do we? Anyway, how y'all doing tonight? What I'm hoping for is a tavern. Wouldn't that be nice? Or just a house where people talk, and I'm sure other people have done this before, but I've never been able to do it. Not that my family was a bad family and discouraged. It feels much better. Discouraged intensive conversation, but they just weren't into intensive conversation. They like popular culture, and I was always very impressed with the Jewish households that I've been in. And even though I can hate the Jews for many reasons, I can love the Jews for many reasons. My first wife was Jewish, and although she doesn't fit into the category that of a deep thinker, but through her, I have met many, many Jews that I think are fantastic. And I don't understand this thing with being a Jew. Being a Jew, what is a Jew? I mean, it's just it's a belief system. It's not a race. It's not an ethnic group. It's not a nation. Well, I mean, Israel, but that's a whole different story. But what I mean is, gotta remember to look at the camera. So, what's your next question? Yes, I am thinking about retirement, but the term retirement is absurd because when am I going to retire? I'm going to obviously be working. I'm just not going to have to depend on money. So again, we're back to that work labor thing. Hopefully, I'm going to be doing work I enjoy, like this, like talking to you. But I think what I have to do, that takes me back to the beginning of the program, is. Did you hear that? Is not put anything else up on the internet till next year. And maybe do a little bit of writing. A little bit of short story writing. I'm going to try. I'm reading Short Lives again. God, I love reading about those guys. Those artists, guys. But, I'm from New York, so guys. That means girls. And if any feminists get angry at my use of guys to mean women and men, go fuck yourself. Because that's what guys are. Guys are people. Guys. Existential out. Checks out for tonight. See you next time. Okay, we're gonna put all